welcome to the top of the world. I've got a couple of problems in this here hole. There's two. On its last safety inspection last year, there's this track rod end on this side, needs replacing. And also, apparently there's a VIN chassis number under here somewhere that's so badly corroded he can hardly see it. And he said I should try and save it. Otherwise, the vehicle has to go back for re-inspection, re-registration. Right. Anyway, but there's been some clanking and rattling on the front end for a while, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. And it appears the problem's even bigger. With these suspension control arms, the whole arm and the rubber on the back end. When you come up the little bump there, it clangs, but also if you go, and you know, we drive a lot on forest roads here, this tarmac is not optional sometimes. Anyway, I've just pushed that back on with the jack, but something is not right about that whole thing at this front end. I can't even imagine what's going on there. Anyway, one job at a time, well actually two jobs at a time. We've got to find this VIN number and clean it up so it can be read. And I can't see it at all. I'm assuming it's in there. But I don't actually know. Really? It's definitely in this wheel arch somewhere. Oh yeah, I can see it. Alright, so we've got to clean that up. And then we've got to change the control arm, so. Right, let's do that. Not the control arm, the track rod end. None of which is very good. So I suppose we better start with a wire brush somewhere along the line. Right, so if I get you in here. Firstly, if you don't know what a track rod end is, and most of you will, it's this. Right, we've got to replace that whole thing. Up here, it's supposed to be a VIN number. Right, what bloody stupid place to put it. I don't even know if you can make any of it out. Anyway, I've got to clean that up so he can read it. None of those concern me. What concerns me is I have now pushed that back up onto that rubber with the jack, okay? But on the other side, I haven't. And without even, I'm not even going to guess it's not supposed to be like that. I can tell you it's not supposed to be like that. We come down under here. Look at that. So that is not supposed to be like that. That is metal on metal there. This should be up here on this rubber. On both sides. So I don't know how that's happened. But it has. So if I put the jack under here and push it up, this whole thing here will slide back onto that rubber, but it should be there permanently. And this is what's clanging. It's actually not in its housing. So I want to get you in there a bit better. See that? It shouldn't be like that. You've got metal on metal. That's part of the whole front substructure. So I don't know if it's because these rubbers have dry rotted and come disattached from the inside of this, which presumably is what holds them up there. What holds the rubber up there themselves, I don't know yet. But that is not good. The whole underside of this is not brilliant. It's not bad. Oh. Okay, well. It's got a bit of weight reduction, but overall, I've got to find out what's happened here. Because I hope that doesn't mean I've got to replace these entire swinging arms. Because that is actually sitting, that's not supposed to be like that. You should be able to get your hand in there. Like you can get your hand over the top here, you should be able to get it in there. So that'll be what all that noise is. Okay. It's actually hard to see what I'm looking at because it's not supposed to look like this, because it just looks like this is all one piece of metal here, and it absolutely isn't. I should be able to get my hand in here, in there. Right. They don't make them like they used to. That's all I've got to say about that. Yeah, so you can see on that side, there's a gap there. That's because I pushed that back up with the jack. Pushed this back up here. It should be stuck there. I'm going to have to go and look at some parts diagrams to see how it's supposed to go. Well, that could give me a nightmare. Let's have a look under the front of the Toyota. Oh yeah, lovely. Look at that. I'll grant you there's a bit of surface rust on the springs. Right. So I can't remember what this is. 2016? 2016, I think. This van. Land Cruiser. 1995. Right. Whole different ball game. Look at me chassis. That. Chassis from 1995. Chassis from 2016. They don't make them like they used to. No. Okay. And I can guarantee you, whilst the Transit has spent quite a lot of its time off-road, it hasn't done as many miles as the Land Cruiser on extreme off-road. That I can tell you for a fact. Anyway. Well, Simon, why don't you replace the Transit with the Land Cruiser? Yeah, it's coming. But in the meantime, anyway, let's get this ball joint changed. That's probably going to fight me all the way. Okay, I've soaked these down a bit. Oh yeah. Okay. Good, skilled. There's two ways you can. There's two ways you can split these, and that's with a puller or a ball joint splitter. I have both. Why is that? Not wanting to do what I want it to do. Gosh, this is getting tight. Oh, maybe that was the problem with it. I was going to say that seems a bit rattly. I've got a brake, or I'm breaking new boots in. More cheap ones from China. Because my other ones collapsed. But you know what it's like when you're breaking new boots in. It's never a good thing. No, I don't have an impact wrench. I wish I did, but I don't. Whew. Oh, that's hot. There we go. So, you have on the top there a hole. That hole is to fit the top of a puller in. So, we've got two options. We can use a splitter or we can use a puller. Now, I've got my puller here because I've been using it to try and get the steering wheel off of this tractor. Unsuccessfully, I might add. So, we already have this to hand. I have actually got a smaller one if I wanted to use a smaller one. This might be a bit big for the job. And again, it might not. So the object of these, there we go. You get that in there. You get all three claws hooked in underneath. Allegedly. I don't think that back one is actually catching on anything. What size is that? 17mm, perhaps. No. Okay, bad guess. It'll be an 18 or a 19, that. 18, what a funny size. And once you've got that attached, you should be able to just do this nut up. You should do this up here, and then, let me get in a better position. That puts pressure down on that, and that should pop it out. But it doesn't look as it's seated as well as it should be. We'll try it first. I'm turning this. Right, so if you, what you don't want to do is for that to turn, and then you start applying pressure. No. Right when you want to just focus on what you're trying to do. You get interrupted by children and animals. What have I told you about working with children and animals? Right, and when you put the two together, it just becomes chaotic. Right, so this, I might have to go and get the smaller puller on this. Oh no, we might have it this time. No. Any right. Right, well, we might have to resort to the wedge splitter and a club hammer if we can't get this to grip into here, or the small puller. Let's go and get the little one and we'll go from there. I don't know if this is going to be too small to do the job. Or whether it's going to be able to get its claws in there a bit better. Yeah, it looks like that might be a better tool to use. Feels a bit better. That can't have gotten. Can it? That's that back one off. No, you need all of them on there. You know, I nearly just got out the wedge splitter and just belted hell out of it with a very large hammer. And I thought, no, because we've got the puller close by, we'll try pulling it off first. Right. It's a test. That's what it is, Simon. It's just another one of those tests. We have those on a daily basis. Right. Feels like it's got a bit of a better grip this time. No, right, well, I'm about to lose my patience with that. So then my other alternative is to get a big steel wedge. I put it in that, I belt the crap out of it, and it'll just pop out. Right, let's try that method then. Alright, we're going to have to resort to this way then. So here you have a wedged fork. And you can see it's been, and that goes between the ball joint and the arm, and then you smack hell out of it. Basically, goes in there like that. It's not doing my shoulder much good, that. Right, that's in there. There we go. Oh yeah. Right, screw the old one off. Like so, get the new one. Make sure those lengths are the same. Here they are. There. Take that off. Then we have to tighten that up. Right, so, good morning. It's Sunday. I've done a few little jobs this morning, but I want to go fishing. Now it's raining. absolutely categorically no rain today, they said. No, it's raining. So, I'm going to at least look at a job I don't want to do, because I've got no choice, because it's one of those jobs I've got to do. So, what I have here is a really heavy box. And inside that box are some things that I don't want, but I need. It's usually a proud moment unboxing. I'm not quite sure what the excitement is, but anyway, this unboxing is not exciting in any way at all. Master Sport Automobile Technic. Right, I can tell you there's nothing sporty about what's in here. There's a box within a box. Okay, so that's exciting, isn't it? Right, so what we have here is control arms kit. Oh no, Ford Transit Torino. Oh no. Oh, really? Like I did not know what was in there, because obviously I ordered them. Okay, there. So previously I showed you this rubber that wasn't in the housing. This is that rubber that's in the housing, and yeah, it must just be old and dry, cracked and rotten, because that's how they're supposed to look. So this is the whole control arm, left and right, and these are some kind of thing with a clip that I've also got to put in. I'm assuming that's a protective cover because they go in there. Yeah, it's kind of like a track rod end, but not. I'm assuming they go in there, and this fits in the chassis with this big clip here somehow. Okay, right, well, whoopee-doo. Now it ain't, I'm sure, just a simple case of taking off the old ones and fitting the new ones. There's no hardware with any of this, so we've got to hope the hardware comes out in one piece and it all works. And I don't suppose for one moment any of these nuts and bolts have been undone since 2006. Do I want to do this? No. No, I don't want to do this. But I've got no choice to do this because it's already booked in for its inspection. And if it doesn't go through and get approved on the day of inspection, on the day after, if it fails significantly badly on anything, it gets on a driving ban, and I have to be somewhere the day after. And do I want to do this on a Sunday? No. And now it's raining. Right. We've got this up in the air on axle stands, and I've sprayed some of the old penetrating oil, WD-40, and I've got to take that one off there, And then I've got to take this one from here. Now there's a clip in here, and this should come out of this brake housing rather than trying to undo this. So I'm just going to try and break it free from this entire housing here. And then we've got this long bolt on this side that runs right the way through to that side, and that should drop it out. Now I'm making the assumption, because this is at an angle and part of what gives that some of the support is this rubber, I'm probably going to have to jack this up to be able to knock these out. Yeah, so I haven't tried to undo any of these yet. I've literally soaked them down. I've had a bit of lunch, and now I'm going to attempt to crack them. I'm not quite sure what holds this whole front subframe up in here yet. I can't actually see what's in any of those, although with the power of a camera maybe I can. Maybe I can pop you through that hole there. Oh, how do you get onto that then? I didn't know that was in there. It's inside. I don't know how you're supposed to get onto that. You can't get on it from the back. You can't get on it. You can't get in there. It's inside the box chassis. Okay, that's a little confusing. Not quite sure how you're supposed to do that then. Maybe it's welded in there. Where's that hole? Doesn't look like it's welded in there, does it? Or does it? Not quite sure what the name of the game there is, if I'm honest. And if that comes out, then that lowers that down from the box chassis, which is also part of the subframe. There's a hole round the... Oh, there is a hole round the back. Okay, round the back there. Looks like there's a hole there. But maybe I can get something in on that. Right. Okay. I suppose. Oh. See if we can crack some of these off then, I suppose. Well, things started to come apart so easily, I kind of got carried away and forgot to show you what I've done. That big long bolt that goes all the way through there, that's out. So, there's this bolt out. So I think the top part was welded in because I couldn't get a spanner or anything on it, and I just put the socket. Is the impact wrench working? Well, I can't, not really. So now it's this. So I'm going to try and take that circlip off of there and then punch that whole thing through. That's what I'm going to try. Right, we have the benefit of a new one. So that is currently sitting in there like that, which means we've got this like double lip here. So we don't need to pound on top of this because we can't, or lever it against the drive shaft because we can't, if we can get a wedge in between that lip and the brake. Now the thing that we've got to be careful of, because it's a brake housing, I'm pretty sure this is cast. No, not even that wants to. Come on, give me a break, everybody. Can I get that one out first? Yes. Woo. Okay. That's the bit that's broken. Oh yeah, that's no good at all. Okay. Because that actually feels really quite good. Although, have I now split the... Yeah. Whilst that feels good, I've split the gaiter. The gaiter's now got a hole in it, which means all the grease that was packed in there, which means that's also going to fail. That's the only trouble with wedging it, using that wedge, is it does destroy it. So, I don't want this drive shaft to come out, which might have already happened actually. We now will need to work on getting this to move. This is so... It's so in there. Alright, well at least I've got a bit more room to move now. Let's have another go at knocking that out. It is proven to be stubborn. Okay, well that was a fight. There's the old one. Right, that's how it's not supposed to look. Not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like that. Okay, I think now we are in a position where we can fit the new one. Steady, Thunder. Okay. I have to jack that up to get that in place. I don't know if I can get either of the bolts in without jacking it up, if I'm honest. That's that one in. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the one that has to be at the right angle. I'm fighting with other things that I don't need to be fighting with right just now. Alrighty then, that's this side done. So this is the same side we fitted a new ball joint on, new control arm, new rubbers, new secondary ball joint thing, everything together. Okay, that looks a lot better. That's what that's supposed to look like. Right, we can now put that wheel on and move to the other side, which is equally as bad There you go, if not worse. So that there is not supposed to look anything like that. It's supposed to look like this new one in there. Yeah, there. Okay, let's get that wheel on and then we'll crack into this side. Right, I'm doing this side in a different order. We've cracked that bottom ball joint. Where's the light? We've cracked that bottom ball joint, this one, off first. Then I'm going to do that bolt across there and then this one last. What a way to spend your Sunday, eh? Could have been fishing. Oh, no, can't have been fishing. Okay, well, we'll go back to... Hey, B! Here, it's piddling. It is, it's piddling. Yeah, I know, we can't do it. Okay, you want to get back in? Oh, I'm sorry, I shut the door, didn't I? There you go, hang on, up. Yeah. Oh, there you go. He's happy now. Good boy. He's quite happy to sit there. All right. Don't ask me what's happened to my 18mm socket. I was last seen working on the tractor out there. Gone. So anyway, with spanners. Spanners and a bar. Have you got your knee pads in, Simon? No. God. Okay. That's that one out. There we go. There we go. That's that one out. That one's even worse than the other side. New one. There we go. Right. Let's do things up in reverse. Right. We just want to put some pressure on that there so that I can do this nut up. Okay. There. So hopefully that'll line up and we can get that bolt. There we go. Oh. So that was completely destroyed, is completely destroyed in every single way. And then so was this one. No use. No use. Anyway, that's them replaced. Right, let's put the wheel back on and we can get this on the ground. There we go. Look at all that newness under there. Very nice. And the same on the other side, obviously. Much newness. I'm not quite sure how I've managed to make that look so simple, but I'm glad I did. So that's it, that's new control arms, new track rods, new, everything is new underneath, and it's ready for its inspection. I've just got to check the lights, you know, little things, but mechanically that can go now. I am a little concerned about the creeping rust, not so much on the frame rails itself, but on the edges, and it's looking a bit, and I'd just like to, but anyway, as far as safety inspection goes, done all the brakes last year. As you remember, I did a refurb on the discs, boring stuff as it is. Now I've done the front control arms. That should stop that annoying clanging when I'm driving. Should actually drive a little bit better. So we're all good. She's booked for an inspection, so all I've got to do is a quick clean up, lights, and then probably ready to go. However, that inspection is 12 days away. Is something likely to break, or someone likely to break something in the meantime? Possible. Who knows? Thanks for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.